What is up, and welcome back to the Border City Kids Live. We are going to run through the next few days of what seems like an unstoppable winter force here on the Border City Kids channel. The news for you, if you love winter and cold temperatures, you are set for quite a while. And if you're like me, who enjoys the summer months of the year and the warmer weather, well, we have a long haul, at least for the next few weeks, to look forward to. Especially if you're on the eastern half of the United States or eastern Canada. The trend is below average. We're going to run through the models. We're going to run through the current watches and warnings. We're going to run through the temperature anomalies, whether we're going to be above temperature or under the average temperature or seasonal temperature for the next little bit. We're going to also run through what our current temperatures are looking like right now with the wind chills. It is bitter cold out there, and there are some eyebrow raises when we see how far down this current jet stream has gone, all the way down to Florida. But we're going to run through some of that. We're going to look at what the weather's going to be like for the next little bit, just to give you guys a heads up. So let's load up our current radar right now. And the good news for right now is that there isn't too much going on in the way of active weather across the United States or Canada. The only thing that seems to be really going on is out west by Washington and Oregon. That's about it. Okay, we got some rain out west. Not much else is really going on as far as active weather across the states. And the reason we're seeing not too much of an active pattern right now is just because that storm from the weekend has run its course. The jet stream is pushed so far down south right now that the temperature gradients is so far south. We're not seeing the jet stream currently go through any states right now. So it's very cold, it's very chilly, but you'll notice it's not active. Where I'm at in Canada right now, about an hour from Detroit, was finally like the first sunny day we've had in a while, but it's extremely cold. If we want to look at the current watches and warnings that are out right now, this is what our current map looks like. You are going to be surprised when you look at the state of Florida right now. There is a freeze watch through about, I would say, 75% of Florida as a whole, and the whole southern tip of Florida, which is incredible. It's highly unlikely. I don't think we've really seen it dip down this far, but they are reaching temperatures that are going to be cold overnight. They're not used to it, so that is why they have a freeze watch right now. The northern part of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and I want to say parts of Virginia have a winter storm watch right now, so they're getting hit. There's also a winter storm warning going on, so that area is currently under watch right now. There will be some storms developing, and that's about it. Okay, we have a few other things going on, but it's not too crazy. There's a few random winter weather advisories. But that is our current watches and warnings right now. And you'll notice the whole a majority of the country is pretty quiet. There's not too much going on, but I bet you it's a lot colder than you're expected to be at right now in this season. So let's continue with our next map. And this map here is going to show our temperature anomalies. And just for a quick explanation on how this map actually works, obviously with heat, you're going to expect red. So if your area is covered in red, that means that you are going to be above average for the time being. If you're in the blues and the purples, obviously you're going to be below average. If your area is white, that means you're about seasonal of what you should be right now. So if you look at this map right here, this is just for the next few days into the first few days of February and ending off January. If you're on the eastern half of the United States right now and the Great Lakes area, the Ohio Valley, and you can see right over Florida, you are very much so under average. We're seeing around negative 20s, negative 30s, almost 30 degrees below average right now, which is pushing Florida towards that freeze mark, which is incredible. The Carolinas, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, the whole Gulf Coast, Alabama, you are well under average for this time of the year. Tennessee, Arkansas, Kansas, this whole area here is well under average. Now you can see the good news is if you look at the surrounding areas, they are starting to shade in red, which we can see as a pattern, hopefully, of warmth that will sweep across the country. There are places, if you look into Canada, Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan, there are some well over average areas up into northern Ontario, Quebec. You are going to be above average as well. But this is like, it's a cold front that is just trapped right now. There's nowhere for this cold weather to go, and it's sticking in that southeastern portion of the States. So if you are in that area, expect to be quite under average for a while. And I understand that you're used to warmer weather, but weather is a weird thing, and this is what happens. So let's look at our actual temperatures right now. And you can just see the eastern half of this map right now is well under average. If you're looking into, for me in Ontario, southern Ontario, we're sitting at about 4 degrees, which is well under average. It's purple. That means we're way under average. If we're down into, even if we look at Florida, some of our lows overnight are getting close to that freeze point. South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, all the way into Texas. Texas picked up some snow over the weekend and some power outages through Tennessee, the Great Lakes area, Ohio Valley, that whole area, Iowa, Illinois, well under average, as you can see. So there are some very cold temperatures. Now, I know the last map showed that Quebec and Northern Ontario are going to be above average, but they are used to very cold temperatures. So their area is still going to be very cold. It might just still be warmer than what they're actually used to, which is why the map kind of contradicts what was on the previous one. So have a look at your area. There's very few spots that are actually decently warm, and it looks like the southern tip of Florida, which will experience freezing temperatures over this coming weekend, and a few spots in California and maybe Arizona. With the wind chills, so this is on top of the cold temperatures already. This is the kind of temperatures that we're looking at, and once again, it just follows the exact thing I followed through with the previous map with just temperatures. The Great Lakes area, super cold right now. We're pushing this all the way down. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Illinois, Indiana, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina. You can see this. We're looking at the Gulf Coast areas with wind chills of 9 degrees. This is right on the coast, the Gulf Coast, which is something you don't really see too often. Hopefully we see a pushback where this weather kind of pushes off to the east and lets go, and hopefully we can get some warmer weather in. Here is kind of what I was saying before about our 6 to 10 day future outlook when we're talking about temperatures in the future. The western half seems to be, you can see the warmth kind of moving over to the east, which is great. If you're on the eastern portion of Canada or the United States, you are still shaded in that dark blue. Now, the good news is the last time I did this was before last weekend when that storm came through, the big snowstorm. This was further west, so this is pushing off a little bit to the east, but I feel like it's being trapped right now, covering the eastern half of the United States and Canada. But hopefully we could see this get pushed off to the east so we can allow warmer weather to flow in. And the good news is, if you're in an area where I am, when it hits about 0 degrees or 32 Fahrenheit, it's actually going to feel quite warm because of how cold it's been. And we've had some very frigid temperatures, bone chilling in Canada, negative 20s, negative 30 wind chills. That's degrees Celsius, so it's super, super cold. So that is the 6 to 10 day future outlook on what we're expecting to see as far as temperatures go, whether we're above or below. And this is about our 2-week time frame. So this is why I say that I feel like the temperatures are, or the cold temperatures are being trapped, because they're not going anywhere. This is 2 weeks from now, and we see the same red shaded areas, and we also see the same seasonal areas, but we also see the eastern half again is just covered with the blue, which means we are going to probably be below seasonal temperatures in these areas. And that's through the Great Lakes. That's all the way up through Massachusetts, Maine, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Indiana, Ohio, Alabama, parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and if you look at the very southern tip of Florida, you're expected to be well under average. So this isn't a big thumbs up, I guess, for future temperatures, because we are going to be cold. Hopefully, now there are signs. If I go into the next map here, there are some future signs that look good as far as what we're expected to see over the next month. Now, the only thing about that is that it's really unpredictable. We're not 100% sure on that, but we're just following what the average model shows. For precipitation, the next 6 to 10 days, if you are in the orangey yellow areas, that means you're going to be a little bit below normal precipitation you would see during this time of the year. The only parts that seem to be green, which means a little bit more precipitation, is the Texas area and parts of, I want to say, Wisconsin, and that's about it. There's not much else going on. And the reason that is, on the East Coast, you're below average is because it's so cold that it's realistically just too cold to snow. And this next map here kind of follows along that. It shows it's going to be fairly dry for the next little bit, and it's going to be cold. There's not much precipitation going on. You can see some moisture trying to kick up from the south, and a little bit of probably some snow kicking up from the north. But throughout the majority of the U.S., there's not much going on here. So it's going to be fairly quiet, I have a feeling, for the next 2 weeks. As far as the modeling goes, for the next little while, this is what our temperature anomalies look like as far as being above average, below average. Now this model here runs for quite a while, so this is already into the 10th day of February. The good news is we start to see it trending to being over average. So I'm hoping that means, and you can see the East Coast, especially the southeastern portion, which has been cold, is going to flip. But we do see a huge shot of cold weather. I don't know if you just saw that, head past Texas all the way down into Mexico. So there's something that they're seeing now. This isn't 100% accurate. I hope we're trending towards something different there. But you look at that. You could just see the huge dip towards Florida, which is coming this weekend. The warmer weather starts to flow in from upper Canada there, flows down past the Great Lakes. And then we see the shot of cold air start to come in. So it's going to warm up quite a ways. You can see those dark reds and whites means it's going to be super warm. But this is that cold shot right here that goes past Texas all the way down into Mexico. And we're seeing temperatures 20 degrees, 25 degrees below average in Mexico. So we'll keep an eye on that. That is still a few weeks away. But we can say for the short term that we are going to be under average. I'm going to keep doing this every few days just to follow the weather, give you guys I'd rather have you guys be prepared about what's coming. Never feel afraid about the weather. Always be prepared, get your supplies. And that is what our weather is looking like today. So it does seem to be trending positively for a little bit. I'd say hang on for another 2 weeks, and hopefully we get some better weather coming in from there. But that's what we're looking at. So thank you for being here tonight to check out the Border City Kids. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Also answer the questions in the chat. What's your winter been like this year? Has it been cold? Has it been snowy? What have you been dealing with? Where I'm from, it started off a little, we were cold, it warmed up a bit. We had some early shots of snow in November, kind of went away. We had a green Christmas, and now it's just been super cold. That's what we've been dealing with here in southern Ontario. That's what we've had. So please let me know in the chat. I'm going to pop on every few days. Like I said, if something comes up before then, I'll pop on, do another episode, and give you guys an update on what's happening. But if you love snow and you love winter, this winter's for you. This is Brian signing off from the Border City Kids. We'll see you soon. Take care.